Good afternoon, sports fans! How is it going? Oh my goodness. Has it really been 2.5 months?
I guess so.
Yeah. It's been 2.5 months. We have not been on air for a very long time, but we promise we will make it up to you all. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... It's almost ridiculous after 2.5 months saying this is still season 2 because we were only 2 episodes in back in January. But welcome everybody to season 2, episode 3 of the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Of course, as you know me, this is your boy Larry B, accompanied by my beautiful fiance, soon-to-be wife, the beautiful Cecilia. How's it going?
Hi, everyone.
You guys, we're really excited. I hope you're excited, because there's a couple of reasons to be really excited. Number one, we all woke up this morning. Hey, how about that? That's a good one. Number 2 thing, there's a lot of sports going on right now. It's pretty awesome, and we're finally back in the loop. Yay! Okay, we are officially under a month since yesterday now to our wedding. Yay! And of course, you guys, we are 1 month away now from the IE Sports Radio 8-year anniversary. How about that?
Woo woo.
This is awesome, you guys. Big ups to Mike in the chat room. Big ups, man. Hopefully, plenty tuned in today. This is going to be some fun stuff. So, with that said, we got so much freaking crap going on in the sports world. And lots of awesome things. We got so many shows we've been watching, you guys. Cecilia's turned me into a show person now. I mean, husbands out there, you guys have no choice. But at the same exact time, wives, you also have no choice with sports. So I guess it just kind of works, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. With that said, you guys, you are now officially tuned into the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, sports fans. Well, or should I say pop culture fans too for this show, because, the missus has to have her part of the show as well, and it works out pretty darn good. So I love in the chat room already. We're getting some love. Appreciate you, Adam. Thank you very much for tuning in. He says, good afternoon, coming down the home stretch to wedding day.
Yep.
Oh, Adam, you and your wife are awesome. And you too, Mike, you and your wife, because you survived the process of doing this. Has this not been insane, babe?
Oh, it's been crazy.
Cecilia and I have been brain wrecked the last couple of months, and yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah, I give women props who can handle... I'm a very undecisive person. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if Larry has ever told you, but oh my gosh, I even annoy myself with being so undecisive and just having to pick out things for the wedding and what I want, what I don't want, and who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. It's just been a little stressful, and for a person who's very undecisive, it's a lot to take in. It's a very overwhelming. So I give women props who do this, who know what they want and are not undecisive. Yeah. And just, yes, exactly what Adam said. How, yeah, he said there are a million little details for weddings, aren't there? Yes, there is. And it's just, I would have never thought. They say that women dream about their wedding day as little girls and whatnot, but man, you never really think everything that goes into it. And now that we're going through it, it's really a lot. Even just how Adam said, even just the littlest things. But it's all going to be worth it in the end. We know that for a fact. Obviously, Larry and I will be together. We'll be married, and the day of, it'll just be all good. And the stress and the worry and everything that came with it will be worth it in the end.
Oh my goodness. Well said. And no, 100%. I love what Mike says here in the chat room, and will continue to be brain wrecked for a while longer. Um,
Little
yeah,
longer.
a little
while
longer. Yeah, for a little while longer. I agree, you too. So, two married men in the chat room right now. They know a little thing or two about this whole process, and well, like I said, you both here and your wives are champions. Okay, because.
Yes.
This has not been easy. So, what's going on, Tara, in the chat room, man? Big ups to our boy there. Everybody tuning in today, we appreciate you all so very much. Wedding day is here. I mean, sorry,
Almost.
a month away, and it's just been crazy. So, our apologies, since we haven't been on air since January 30th. Whoops.
Oh, wow.
Whoops.
But we've had a lot of crazy things go on. Like, unfortunately, I got sick again with, like, my whole gallbladder and shingles on top of it, which was not fun at all. And then, of course, the wedding has just been taking up a lot of our time as well, and then school and whatnot, and work, obviously. So it's just, we're trying to juggle it all, so forgive us, our favorite people of fans.
Please forgive us. My poor woman over here has been through the ringer.
I think once everything slows down, we'll definitely get better at this.
We will. It's just, I know. And then, of course, I was sick through the whole month of freaking March.
That's right. You were sick as well.
Like, I don't know what the crap that was. It wasn't COVID. I get tested every week at work. And, I mean, oh my gosh. It was hell.
It's probably just stress-related.
Yeah, it really was. Golly, man, I'm telling you, this has really tested the nerves. But more than anything, it's just made us stronger. It's made us happy. We've gone through this process, and everything has been so, so great. What was that?
What Taryn said.
Oh, it was Taryn, I'm at work, have to be. Oh, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you for tuning in to work, man. I know you couldn't tune in today, man, but we appreciate you so very much for tuning in here and showing us love on your break, or if you're just chiming in how you can. But he says, so, can I be the minister or ring bearer for the wedding? Just kidding, that's not my department. Well, Taryn, we appreciate you so much. I wish all of you guys, we wish all of you can be there. And
yes.
This is a big, giant wedding, but oh my goodness, it's going to be a little teeny thing. And, but at the end of the day, it really is just, it's a special day for everybody, of course, all of us going and everybody, part of it. But at the end of the day, it's just such a special day because, I mean, hey, this is it, it's exciting, so we thank you all for wishing us the best and for just all of your cheering on, and we really appreciate you all. You guys are awesome.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So
Thank you very much. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Well, with that said, you guys, oh my goodness, we thank you for being here today. We got some really cool things going on here, and I gotta tell you, I am really, really happy because, well, in just a few hours. Oh, wait a minute. We got one more chat here. Adam says, this can be a blessing or a curse. No matter what happens the big day, at the end of it, you'll be married. Absolutely.
Well, we're praying, God willing, that everything is a blessing.
Yeah, we have God willing. Exactly. We are 100%. So, with that said, we got some things to get to today. And, well, we're starting off with sports. And today, we're really, really, really excited. Cecilia is probably not too excited, but I'm very excited because since last summer, or shall we say the preseason in August, Cecilia had to be forced to watch football every single Sunday from August all the way until the Super Bowl Sunday, of course, which was, about 2 months ago. And just when she thought she was going to get away from football, all the way into August this year, surprise! The USFL kicks off today at 4:30. Only 8 teams, babe, so don't get crazy. There's not a whole bunch of games. But every single weekend, there's going to be about 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and you know who's going to be glued to the TV. So my bad, but the USFL is here today. Maybe let me tell you a little bit about the USFL. So the USFL actually started back in 1983, and it actually survived. It was the only football league to actually go against the NFL and actually survive for a couple of seasons. Interestingly enough, this league, kind of funny when Donald Trump owns a team, right? Back then. He was an owner of one of the teams that always won. But end of the day, it went under. The entire league went under. And money, all kinds of horrible things happened to it. And guess what? It went under. And that's it. And nothing really has challenged it ever since. We had the XFL with the WWE happening. We had the Alliance a couple of years. The XFL tried to make an attempt. That's it. But I'll tell you right now, the USFL kicks off today at 4:30. Really excited for this as we have the Generals taking on the Stallions. I have it on the calendar, marked and ready to go. I'm excited. You know, back in the old USFL, how big do you think this league really was, babe? Players like Bo Jackson, which is a legendary Raider. He's the only, well, I wouldn't say only successful, but I want to say maybe the first and maybe the most successful NFL player to actually play in the NFL and the MLB at the same exact time.
I think you've told me that.
Bo was the man. Bo knows. And he played for 5 years for the Kansas City Royals and then the then Los Angeles Raiders. And he was amazing. And, well, he actually got drafted into the USFL, as of a lot of other big names did. And they played in the USFL for a while. Unfortunately for them, though, they when the league would fall apart, they just went to the NFL. So you tell me, how major is it when a league starts and you're getting major players coming out of college, not going to the NFL, but going to the USFL? How do you think about that?
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I guess I just... Say that again, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
No, just your question part.
It's saying the USFL had players coming right out of college that were major, not going to the NFL, but going to the USFL instead.
So that's obviously a league under the NFL?
No, it was a league competing with the NFL.
Oh, competing with the NFL, sorry. Well then, yeah, that's crazy. Especially if they're trying to stand up to the NFL. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
They took them on. They took them on hard for 3 years. The USFL actually lasted.
Dang, that's pretty good then.
And then of course it all fell apart, derailed, money, defunding, all bad things happened to it. And then those players that were in the USFL were like, yeah, we're gonna tiptoe into the NFL. Sorry, but how crazy is that? That you get a league that actually stood up. That's the only time that we can actually say one league actually stood up to the monster that is the NFL and actually gave it a run for a couple of years. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think the NFL was ever worried.
No, but I think they probably just saw it as a fun thing to do and try to probably show the other side, what is it, USFL. Sorry, I'm getting all confused with the whole abbreviation stuff. But, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say with that. Sorry.
Well, I love this in the chat room. Kale Henderson, hats off to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. He says Cecilia is a saint. She not only assists Larry with iSports Radio craziness, but she's also a coach's wife. She's goated for that. That's an applause. Thank you very much, Kale. Yes, totally agreed. Totally. Yeah, this woman puts up with a lot. She endures all of the sports like crazy. She is a coach's wife, so now she's got to deal with all the craziness going on. She's also a player's wife. Because I still play.
Uh-huh.
So this season, it's going to be crazy, you guys. It's going to be coaching. And then I'm going to be starting as an intern, as a teacher. So it's going to be teaching. She's going to be starting her bachelor's, you guys. By the way, I'm sorry. I guess really quick. Can we make not a sidebar? Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful soon-to-be wife is now officially a Lancer. This past week, she got accepted into California Baptist University.
Thank you.
She has 15 classes to go, you guys. She has her associates. She has a certificate for 12 units of early childhood development. She has her certification to teach basically those kids who are in everything pre-K. And she is awesome. She is just 12 classes away. She is set to graduate in August of 2023. I mean, she's wonderful, babe. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, she'll be starting on May 9th. I'm currently in
Before the wedding,
I know,
which
before
is
the
going to be crazy, but
right.
which is already crazy enough.
It
But
really is.
it's okay. I can deal with it. We can deal with
We
it.
can. We certainly will. She'll be doing that. I got my classes going on and everything. Of course, getting my credential, and then my second master's tied to that. We got football throughout the summer, of course. We were running the station. We had to keep up with sports because, we kind of have to keep up with sports for the station. We got that. I'll be playing this season again. This is my 12th season of football in my life. So I think, yeah, of course, there's time off and lots of things going on between and everything like that. But it's just incredible. This is my 5th year at the Warriors. And it's going to be awesome, you guys. I think it's exciting. It was really very exciting for going all these things. And Cecilia is absolutely a saint. This woman goes to everything. I mean, she's going to be at the games, the ones I'm coaching and the ones I play in. She's the ultimate cheerleader. She is amazing. But hey, I'm also the same exact way. The ultimate cheerleader for her and everything.
Yeah, we support each other. That's what couples do.
So definitely. This is 100%. So we're both very excited for all these wonderful things going on, and she is definitely amazing. So thank you for that, Kale. 100%. Kale. Let's see here. Wow. Adam says, "Oh right, USFL." I'm not terribly enthused. A lot of people think that the USFL is going to fall apart again. The championship is set for sometime in July or June. Some people doubt that it'll even get there and it'll fall apart before it even gets
You
there.
never know.
So we'll see. But Kale says, "Damn, Larry, went on a rant, LOL, and put Cecilia to sleep faster than a Crosby drink." Oh my gosh, man, had to re-ask his question. My apologies.
No.
My apologies. My bad. Were you falling asleep over
No.
there? But anyway, so the USFL, realistically, I'm really excited, you guys. We got some good games, and tomorrow we got a bunch of games on Easter. So we're not going to stay on this all day long, but really quick, we're really, really excited for well, at least I'm excited. So it's like, oh, great, more football. But today we got those games, and then of course coming up tomorrow on Easter. So today is the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions going on today at 4:30. So we are just about 4 hours away from kickoff. Really cool. And then of course tomorrow we got the Houston Gamblers and the Michigan Panthers, the Philadelphia Stars and the New Orleans Breakers, and the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Pittsburgh Maulers going on. And what do you think? This year, lots of leagues have tried and failed. No one can take on the juggernaut that is the main sport. If there was another baseball league, they'd probably get destroyed by the MLB. I mean, no one, the TV deals, the owner, I mean, there's so much money in these leagues. Mm-hmm. It's damn near impossible to have a league to compete. It really is. And the NFL doesn't have that farm system like how the MLB does, the NHL does, the NBA. Everyone has a farm system.
I think it'd be cool if they did.
Right? And a spring league, right? It's spring.
I think it would help them, too, to recruit, obviously, people as well. Because they would have, someone... Because, obviously, the MLB, they have the farm league. So they tend to move up sometimes.
Yeah.
Instead of, really searching for people. Because then they see, they're doing pretty well in the farm league. Let's bump them up and see how well they do in the... not actual leagues. I mean, they're both leagues, but...
the top league,
yeah,
the major league, if you will.
And I think football would be. I'm pretty sure people would even love it even more if football had a farm league.
A farm league, and I mean, honestly, babe, I am convinced because I play semi-pro right now at a high level, but it's all the same level. But I'm just saying, it's a very competitive league. I feel like, my goodness, it's hard for me to say that in my early 20s I wouldn't have been able to have been in a farm system myself. You know what I mean? I was always good. I just don't know if I had that NFL gear, but I could have developed. in a system like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's a lot of players who I know definitely could have had that shot to be like, oh my gosh, if I could develop in a real, you know what I mean, like in a setting like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're big fans of the Lake Elsinore Storm down the street. They're a farm system.
Yeah.
What they get paid is really sad, but at the end of the day, they're still developing, and they could move up.
Yeah.
And everything. So yeah, I mean, I really, really agree. I mean, I just really feel that a farm system for there is no feeder system for the NFL. There's none.
Mm-hmm.
The feeder system is the CFL, basically, the Canadian League. Kind of sad. And Canada hates that. The Canadian League's been around since like the 50s.
Oh, wow.
But they get mad because they're like, that's why they don't even, kind of crazy, they only, fun fact here, but in the Canadian League, they only allow a certain amount of Americans on their team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you exceed a certain amount of Americans, like, you get in trouble in the Canadian League. Why? Because they're like, no, we want to cater to our Canadian players.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, kind of sad, but they put a cap on American players.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they just don't, I don't know. I guess kind of, because a lot of players will go up to Canada and develop in their system and then get good enough to play in the NFL and then come to the NFL.
So maybe that's why they limit themselves, is because people are taking advantage of it in that aspect, and then moving on to the NFL.
Exactly. And
so they're just being used, basically.
Pretty much. And Canada's like, no, this is our league. You know what I mean? Like, you're making a mockery of our league.
I can't blame them for that, then.
Yeah, like, you're just getting used, and then you're moving on. Like, once they get good enough and get good film, and somebody wants them in the NFL, they're like, all right, peace out. And Canada's like, wait, you were our player. What the heck?
Yeah.
Like, no. So, yeah, I don't blame them. So, Adam says here the AAF was a good product, just had no money. Okay, long story short, right before we met, a couple years ago, I want to say 2008, 2019, there was a league called the AAF, the Alliance of Football, whatever. Okay, it was actually pretty good. A lot of NFL players, a lot of ex-NFL players and everything put money into it to develop it. Long story short, it was a spring league, and it was actually pretty good football. Lots and lots of great football. Lots of good players that were so close to being, like, guys who got undrafted. You know what I mean? These guys who weren't, like, practice team guys and everything. They were playing in that league to try to, of course, that's what you want. You want to get film, you want to develop, and then get onto an NFL team. Well, guess what? When they got about half of the season, it went completely defunct. Why? It was really sad. There were reports of players having to pay for their own hotel rooms.
Oh, dang.
There were reports of guys who would get hurt and have to pay with their insurance instead of the team actually trying to fix them up. And it was really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, the entire league just went under. They didn't finish one season. They got to week 7 or 8, and the entire league went under.
Oh, dang.
And
That's crazy.
It's only a 10-week season, like the USFL. But, interestingly enough, it failed.
Mm-hmm.
The XFL, which was the Vince McMahon league back in the early 2000s, he tried to make, the wrestling version, if you will, the WWE version of the NFL, and that failed miserably. Then he tried it again just a couple of years ago, in 2020. It was actually working. It looked good. You want to know what happened to it?
What?
COVID hit.
Oh.
And what happens?
Stinking COVID. It just ruined everything.
It did. It did. It went under and destroyed it. And you know what Vince McMahon finally said?
What?
F it. I'm old. I have a great product. Because Vince McMahon's a big a big football guy. He loves football.
Mm-hmm.
But it just went under, and he's like, I don't know if he says he's too old, and he's old. He's up there. But at the end of the day, it was over. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't even. Now The Rock actually bought it with some other people, and The Rock is trying to revamp it, I think, for next year or whatever, and actually make the USFL. So, so Kale says here, Little Giants reference, one of the greatest kids sports movies ever. Y'all gotta draw up the annexation of Puerto Rico play. Remember that bit, the Little Giants? The little kids? Add that to your semi-pro playbook or high school coaching book. I know, right? Absolutely, Kale. Absolutely. By the way, Kale is actually a coach as well. He's a middle school coach out in Nebraska. So he's one of our very own.
For what sport?
Football.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's
nice.
awesome. So yeah, well, he coaches. It's not really middle school. It's just a certain age group. But they're usually middle school kids. But he's pretty awesome. So awesome stuff over there. Of course, Kale, one of our people, the host of the Sin City Sports Show. Of course, Sin City. Yeah, awesome, 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 awesome show here on every Tuesday night on IE Sports Radio. Also, Adam Karnick of the chat room. He is the host of our Chicago sports show, Chi-Town Weekly, here on IE Sports Radio every Tuesday evening and or Monday evening. And then they recently moved to Wednesdays, but Adam Karnick and Zach Puplis, which of course Zach Puplis, the host of our Detroit show. Detroit and Chicago come together and they make the hockey show, The Neutral Zone, every Wednesday evening. So make sure to catch them. Always great stuff. But Adam says one of the original quote-unquote investors in the AAF turned out to be a scam artist. He was running a Ponzi scheme in Europe, and all his assets got frozen. Such fun. As you can see, a lot of crap happens in these leagues and whatnot. So, at the end of the day, babe, we're going to close the door on this coming up because, of course, we're getting ready for kickoff in a couple of hours, which is great. But what do you think? Now you've heard all the background on these leagues that try to, make things happen and try to compete. What is your personal take on this league coming up today? Do you think it's going to fall on its face like all the rest? Do you think it actually could compete like it once did in the 80s? And by the way, the USFL, it had a lawsuit on it recently. We didn't think it was going to happen because they took the original people that were involved in the USFL aren't even in this. What people did now, the new group of people that are in this, just took the old brand and said, hey, we'll take it. And the people were like, wait, the old people who were in the USFL were like, wait a minute, that's our brand name. You can't take our brand name. And they were like, well, why not? So they got, I don't know what happened. Now I think everything is good because now it's here. But so as you can see, not even the original people that were involved in the original USFL. This is all new. It's just the name remains.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think? Do you think, because we're going to see a lot of guys who were on practice teams from the NFL today. We're going to see a lot of guys who were undrafted. A lot of guys who didn't get invited to the combine. The draft is coming up in a few weeks, for the NFL. So we're going to see a lot of guys who just didn't make the cut. Guys like where I feel like I was in, the tier I was in. A lot of, Division II, Division III, NAIA players, Division I, AA. You know what I mean? All these guys, or even guys who didn't make it from single A. Only 300 guys get invited to the combine. Out of 126 schools that are D1 single A, that's thousands of players. Only 300 get invited, and then you're talking about the rest of the ranks.
That's not a lot.
And then the rest of the ranks, Division II, NAIA, Division III, all of those. I mean, it's just crazy to think that all those players. So, what do you think, though? We're going to see a lot of those guys from the lower leagues and just guys trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get into the NFL. What do you think? Do you think today we're going to see the USFL come out and be really good football, or do you think it's going to be just like the rest, the XFL, which we'll see the XFL soon, again, with The Rock at the helm and others. But do you think it's going to be like the AAF or like the old XFL twice over already, or the old USFL, or even before that, the WFL, the World Football League, they actually tried in the 60s. It actually survived for a little bit. Then it went
There's so
under.
many.
They all tried to compete, and they all failed. The NFL crushed them all. Do you think this one will actually survive? What do you think, though?
I mean, to be honest, I do hope that they actually make it and prove that, other people can compete with the NFL, and maybe it'll make it more interesting, because with these people, I think the ones that are trying to compete with the NFL, they're playing it, not saying that the NFL players don't play because they don't love the game or whatnot, but, I feel like the other people will show and prove that, they are worth at least making it up there and competing because they have, good enough skills as well to play the game. So that shall be interesting. I hope that they make it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to hit bumps and have their own things to accomplish as a league. But hopefully they fix all the kinks and whatnot and be able to manage and work out.
I do too. Well, very nicely said, babe. I completely agree. I hope this XFL flourishes. USFL flourishes. I really do. Because it really is a great product to have a farm system. It is a great idea to have a farm system for football. We've needed it for so long. And the NFL just doesn't really honor it. They're like, you're not a farm. We don't like you. We're going to crush you. And it's really kind of funny because the NFL doesn't do it because I guess they may, because they're like, yeah, we're going to crush you. But the NFL is just there's so much money in it that it crushes things without even knowing it. You know what I mean? Like the NFL is just nothing else can really flourish.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think they need to they don't want to fund it, but somehow, some way, a farm system needs to happen. It really does.
Well, maybe this will open their eyes if they actually work out this new league. Maybe the NFL will hopefully open their eyes and just be like, hey, maybe we do need a farm system in a way to improve, our guys and who we pick and everything like that.
But what if? Because it's not actually they're not going to call it a farm. Now it'd be nice if it'd be nice if the NFL actually made their own farm.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the scary part: what if the NFL is actually like, you know what, we're all for this. Like, it'd be nice to have another league to serve as a farm, and the USFL could also be like, yeah, we want to be a farm. And before you know it, they start adding more teams. It's really successful, and before you know it, the USFL starts competing with the NFL. Oh no, the NFL's the worst nightmare.
Well, no, I think if the NFL does adopt, I should say, the farm system, I'm pretty sure they would keep them at bay in a way. Yeah. They'd be like, no, you're lower than the NFL still. Yes, you work under us, but no, you're not coming up here just yet.
Well, yeah, but once again, that's only if they welcome the USFL as an actual farm system. If they're just let them hang around, the USFL can gain traction, and before you know it, fans will start you know what? No, the NFL sucks. You know what I mean? So will they?
I feel like I highly doubt that would ever happen. I don't think the NFL will ever go anywhere, and that's like any other big league that has established themselves very well.
Agreed. Well,
I mean, that would be very crazy if somehow, some way, the other side takes over.
Agreed. Well, with that said, we're trying a new little system here. We're gonna do both of our worlds simultaneously here. So we're gonna get back to sports in just a bit, but really fast. Really fast. Well, not really fast, but before we take our first commercial break of the day, I gotta ask a question now. Or I gotta put something out there. We've been watching a few kind of pretty cool shows in the last couple of months here before we've gotten back on air. And for those of you who are people who love to enjoy your shows as well, Cecilia's gotten me into so many freaking shows, it's crazy. But there's a few that we just want to go ahead and add. Last time we talked about Name That Tune. Just so you guys know, we're still watching Name That Tune. We were watching it last night. But it's actually a pretty fun show and we enjoy it. So, but you heard all about that one from us already. Another couple that we've actually enjoyed, there's 3 of them. Bar Rescue, Cake Boss, and Is It Cake?
Obviously, we're on a cake binge right now.
Our wedding's coming up, you guys. We want cake.
Maybe that's why.
But we have 3 different shows here. And it's kind of funny because though we do watch our movies and watch other things, these just continually pop up.
I think it's just because we don't really have time to watch movies right now. And shows tend to be a little bit shorter, so we can watch a couple and then we're like, okay, we got to go here, go there, or go to bed, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
so.
For sure.
Whereas a movie is an hour long, and then we're like, oh dang.
It's so true. Adam Carnick jumped in the chat room. Cake Boss, who wants to eat some cake? I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you what. Cake Boss is a great show. Mm-hmm. It is a great show. And there couldn't be a better owner for that place. Am I right?
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't.
Well, it's a family-owned business. So.
It's a family-owned business. But, well, you know what? I didn't shut up enough about sports. How about you go ahead and bring us into Cake Boss? Go ahead and tell everybody, of course, for those who may not know what Cake Boss is, go ahead and give a little something on Cake Boss.
Obviously it's a show. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard about it, but it's just I forget what they are. It's Sicilian?
They're Sicilian. Italians, but let's not forget Sicilians. Yes. We're different. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, yeah. That's like saying about Hispanics and all that.
No,
they get all crazy. We're like, oh no, I'm not. Anyway, never mind. That's beside the point. But,
okay.
Yeah. Cake Boss is just a Sicilian family who owns it. Their dad started it, and then his son took over. Buddy, I forget their last name, but yeah, so he owns it, and it's just cool to watch them. You know how they build their cakes and whatnot, and how fast they have to do them, and how many cakes they do within a week and whatnot, and it's all pretty cool. And then obviously their little family dramas that they go through. I mean, it's not a lot. Obviously, it's more about the cake and whatnot and the business. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good show.
It's a fun one. We
Yeah.
really enjoy it. And yeah, Adam Karnick says here, my boss is originally from New Jersey and has been to their shop in Hoboken. Oh, that's cool.
That is so awesome. I've been wanting to, ever since I first started watching the show, which I can't remember when I started watching it, but I mean, yeah. I've always wanted to go there and try out one of his cakes, and even what did you call that thing that we had that one time at a restaurant? I forgot what it's called. A cannoli.
A cannoli.
There you go.
Hey! I'm walking here. I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah. So hopefully Larry and I one day will be able to go out there to New Jersey and try out his good cakes and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I had to bust out the accent. Hey! I'll take a cannoli. What?
No.
No. You gotta love it, right? But I think this is awesome. I think this is absolutely awesome. A great show. The crap this guy makes is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a team, of course, all in the family, but then it's not crap. I mean, the cakes they make, it's unreal. It is unreal. Like, they made a NASCAR. Like, they're making, and it's crazy. When they bring them in for the evaluations and everything, they freaking make, like, 2,000-pound cakes, you guys. That's a ton, literally. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's really neat. The creativeness. I think Celia and I have a new favorite word, ganache. You know what I mean?
Ganache.
Like, I mean...
I love their accents.
Right.
It's so cool and unique.
Yeah, right. It's awesome. They really have a great business. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Well, I'll tell you right now, this is a really, really, really cool show. If you've never seen it, which I seriously doubt you haven't, but if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, you really want to check it out. It's actually really, really cool.
It's just crazy too. Like, you think about it, like, they're artists. Because obviously they, build stuff with modeling chocolate and fondant and like how they can create like buildings and humans in a way. It's just crazy. It's really cool. I think I really like that show just because I appreciate their talent that they have with the cakes and everything like that. The only thing that does suck is like they take weeks or days on one cake and then they deliver it to the event and then it's just all gone. It gets destroyed by people eating it. But I think at the same time, that's what makes it a fun thing too, because they're constantly creating new things and having fun with it. And obviously it's something that they love to do for a living. So it's really cool. I really like it. And it's fun to see the different types of cakes that they create and everything like that, and appreciate their artisticness of making the cakes.
I completely agree. And well, while we're on the cake subject, there's actually another cake. There's another cake we started watching, you guys. There's another show we started watching, and oh my goodness, Cecilia finds the coolest shows. Like, seriously, I don't know how she does it.
Well, obviously, Cake Boss is on TV. You can see that, I think, on TLC, I think.
I believe so, yes.
So, I mean, you can watch that there. And I don't know, I guess before we had Hulu and Netflix and all that, you just flip through the channels and find things that you like. But the show called Is It Cake?
Yeah.
That one you can find on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, so that one you can't find anywhere else other than Netflix. And that's also a really cool show. It's really crazy. It really fools you. Like, it's so hard because what they do is they put, like, what's an example I could use? Well, the one that we just watched recently, and it's all competition. So it's with not normal. I don't know what you would say, like regular people, I guess you would say.
Bakers?
That, yeah, regular bakers. People that are trying to create or make their business grow more like. And they compete for, I don't know, what's the grand prize? I forget. Obviously, it's money. But what they do is the person makes a cake, and then they put other decoys that are the real thing. Like, they used a duck recently. So the baker created a cake as a duck, and they try to make it as realistic as possible. And then they use the actual, like, rubber ducks as decoys to throw off the judges' seeing ability.
Pretty much, yeah.
They have to see it, they have to judge it by just looking at it, and they're not close up at looking at them either. They're like probably like what, 5 feet away?
Oh no, they're probably a little further than that. But I want to say about 10. No, they're about 15, 20 feet away.
I mean, from looking at it on TV, it doesn't seem like they're that far, but I'm pretty sure like if we were actually there, they're pretty far. But then they have 3 judges, which is pretty cool because I've never seen that either, where they have 3 judges, but they change each episode. So it's not constantly the same judges over and over and over. So it's pretty cool. They bring in different people. They've brought in, like, I think cooks or chefs, I should say, and singers and actors. And so it's like they're not all of the same world, I guess you would say. But, yeah, so then the judges will pick, they have 5 items to choose from, and only one of them is actual cake. And then they have to see who gets it right, basically, or if they get close to the cake. But they have to try not to guess the cake, though, so that the contestant can move on to the next round of competition. And it's really cool, though. That's a really cool game. Because even Larry and I will play along. We're like, oh, no, because they don't show you what their cakes look like at the end until they show it with the judges as well. I mean, they show bits and pieces of what their cake is starting to look like, but we don't know the finished product. So as the judges are, excuse me, are trying to guess which one is the cake, we're guessing at the same time too, and sometimes we get them right and sometimes we don't, so it's kind of fun to play along with the show as well, even though we're not actually in the show.
It's a great
But,
show.
yeah.
It
It's
really
really cool.
is. Yeah, Cecilia and I play along all the time. It's hilarious. We're like, no, it's number 1, it's number 2, like it's whatever. Like, it's awesome because, like, it really does depend on how well you can fool the judges.
Yeah.
The bakers, like, if they can fool them, then they get to play for, like, the cash prize at the end, I guess. And the cash prize at the end is super cool. It's like a big bag of money, and the freaking thing is made of cake. One is real and one is made of cake.
But that's if one of the contestants was able to fool the judges, and then once they do, then they get they have to choose which one is the cake and which one is the real money. Well, with that one, they have to actually choose the cake as a baker, because in a way, they should know.
Which is kind of crazy because they're the ones who are, like, baking the cakes for the judges, which I guess you can say the judges are basically the contestants, because they're the ones who are, like, trying to pick. And it's funny because then they turn to the contestant themselves, because they're like, oh, wait, now then I have to actually, if I fooled the judges, like you said, now I gotta pick which one is the real cake or not. Like you said, it's kind of cool because, yeah, you'd think, like, they're bakers, so they should know. But it's just, I don't know. Like, some of these cakes are just so well made.
Yeah, they are.
And, oh my gosh, that bag of money at the end, oh, that thing fools me every time. I don't think I've gotten it right once.
I think I've gotten it right, like, maybe once.
You've done really well, because that is, they must have.
It's hard, though.
They modeled that thing so well to fit the bag of money and the cake. And those bakers, whoever made that thing is freaking.
Well, I'm pretty sure those ones are professional bakers.
Yeah.
Not saying that these contestants are not professional bakers.
Yeah.
Well,
it is crazy. Well, with that said, you guys, we're 45 minutes in, so we're going to take ourselves a break. And when we do, we're going to come back and continue on with some of the, some of our shows. We're going to go into a different show, Bar Rescue, that has been a fun one. And then, of course, we're going to end off with some more sports, and then we're going to play ourselves, we're going to talk about the movie of the week. And then, of course, finish off with our little game, Test of Both Worlds. Fun stuff coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Sports Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. IE Sports Radio, for all that is sports. Welcome back to Sports Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Of course, it's me, your boy Larry B. Joined by my beautiful fiance, soon-to-be wife, Cecilia. Well, babe, this has been a fun one so far. Of course, we said short breaks, and we're definitely taking short breaks. So, we got to talk about another show that... It's funny, you actually started watching this before you even met me, and then you got me into it. Pretty cool show, Bar Rescue. Mm-hmm. Tell this audience a little bit about this show.
Obviously, it's about bars. But it's about people who are owning these bars, and they make it on their own for, I don't know how long, probably a good while, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, their, what would you call it, revenue?
Going under.
Starts going down for some reason. And I think it's just after they have owned these businesses for so long, they kind of don't know what's going on with their business. They kind of let their employees take over, I guess. And so I'm forgetting the dude's name who runs the show.
I forgot his name,
how
too.
Sad, I forgot it.
Oh, man. He's actually, I like him because he's, like, mean. I like that. But he's, like, a really, like, nice guy. John Taffer. There we go,
Taffer. Yeah. So he is, I think he owns, obviously, he has to own bars himself. And so he knows how to run a business. And then he, so they ask for their help, and then I'm pretty sure he picks and chooses on who he wants to help and who he has time for. So what he does is he spies on them, and he is able to put cameras in uh, the people's bars. He puts cameras in there all over the place, like even in the kitchen. He puts them in there, and he puts them where you can see the bartenders and the people and everything. And a lot of the reasons why the bars are going under is because for some reason the employees are like getting rid of free drinks, or their prices of the drinks are not priced correctly, and or the bartenders tend to drink on the job themselves, and so that's a lot of the reasons why their business is going under. But it's crazy how some of these businesses have like gone down and everything like that. And the way it is so gross too, especially since I have worked in a food place before. Luckily, they are somewhat, not even somewhat, they are the cleanest as far as I know. I've only worked in one food place though, so, but like, I don't think I could ever work in a fast food place because I don't know. I feel like they probably don't take care of their stuff as much as they should. Mm-hmm. And seeing these bars and how they let their kitchen just go bad, and how some of them don't even hire like an actual cook or the people who serve it and whatnot, it's just disgusting. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like I would never want to go to these places. But yeah, and then it's just crazy how John Taffer sometimes gets crazy on these people. I'm like, oh, if it were me, I'd probably be like, okay, I quit. Like, I cannot handle anybody yelling at me. I know, right? But yeah, it's just crazy. And then it's cool how he turns these bars into, you know, he upgrades them. He upgrades the kitchen, I believe. He upgrades, you know, the front part of the bar. You know, their tables, the chairs, what their bars look like, and even their alcohol too, that they, you know, sometimes they might be using like the cheapest of the alcohol, so that he upgrades them to like, you know, somewhat of the most expensive ones, so that they can start charging their customers the right price of the drinks and everything like that. So it's really cool, and it's fun and interesting to watch, and how things can turn around too. And then after the episode is over with, they tend to tell you how the business is doing after John Taffer has left and everything. Some of them still make it, and some of them, majority of the time, the bars have succeeded after he's left. And then there's like once in a blue moon that some of them did not make it, unfortunately. But for the most part, they all succeed.
It's a great show. Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty cool. And I like that how they kind of keep tabs on it. Well, they do keep tabs on it and everything. And we've seen some really cool turnarounds. Yeah. Like, it's a fun show. I definitely enjoy that and everything. And it's funny because, like, when Cecilia introduced me to the show, I was like, oh, what's this? Like, it's just, it's cool because I feel like, like, there's a lot of places out there that just have poor management. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when we first started talking about the show, like, yeah, like, okay, John Taffer isn't the nicest guy when it comes to, like you know, whipping everybody in shape, but gosh damn it, you have to be that way. Am I right? You know, like, I
think he just sees it as, like, he himself owns a couple of his own businesses, so it's just like, if you're wanting to own your own business, why would you let it go down the drain, basically? Exactly. You spend so much, or you've put so much money and time and effort to get it up and going, why not keep it up? Yes. And I think that's why he sees it that way. It's just because, why are you letting it go?
He does an amazing job. He turns these places around, so... what's going on, Taryn? You say he's back from breaks. It sounds like this show is a CSI type show, something a criminal justice major would enjoy, like my brother. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to call it that way. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just really feel that it's a show that really hits it on the head of like this is how you manage something, and I like it a lot. Like he's really strict on these people, but you have to be the same exact way you kind of have to be as a teacher in the classroom, which I have definitely learned in the last year. Like the last couple of years being a sub and getting ready to have my own classroom pretty soon, and the same exact way that we can all know from like if you're a coach. I mean, I've coached already. It's my second year coaching varsity, and I totally get it. Like you need those team players. You need them, and he weeds them out quick.
Yep.
And he gets people in position. I love it how sometimes like if he feels somebody's not doing bad, he'll like demote them right in front of their face and then promote somebody else. Like who really wants it, and like like I don't know. I just feel like
he has the owner like, tell them either they're gone or being demoted too sometimes.
Yeah, hey, the owner, huh? Like, hey, you suck at this. But overall, I just feel like John Taffer's a great dude, and he really, really fills the void of the person who's going to get things done at places, and I feel like after his presence. They know what to do. Because some people they
take it more seriously too.
Yeah, and just because you have a business and you're slightly successful, like that's wonderful. That's wonderful. One of my all-time, but you can be so much better. One of my all-time favorite, absolute favorite movies. Sorry, The Internship, and I love it because. Like one of my favorite scenes is at the end with the pizza shop, and they're interns for Google and everything, and I love it because, these kids may have, like the brains to find things on Google and put things together and presentations and everything. But at the end of the day, yes, the world is going 100% digital and everything. We get it. But people are still here. We're not robots. And you gotta know how to talk to people. And you gotta know how to have the gift of gab. And you gotta know how to make business. And you have to know those things. Sometimes introverts that sit behind a computer all day don't even have the social skills to interact with people. So where they can make this beautiful, wonderful thing that can help so many people. But if you can't sell it, then what good is it? And then you have people much like myself are extremely extroverted. I don't know a damn thing about technology. I mean, I'm good. I'm okay with it, but I can't make these incredible apps that are like helping people and doing, But at the end of the day, you give me the platform, and I can tell you right now, if you can get me to understand it and everything like that, I will sell the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Like I will totally like I will get it out to people. I will get people to. PR in a sense. I mean, that's just so. I feel like you need both, and I feel like some people. No, we're relating that to Bar Rescue. It's like some people may have a business, but in that scene of the internship, he tells the pizza guy, he says, "We're doing okay. We don't need you, basically, Google. We're doing okay." And then both the guys are like, "Okay." Do you hear yourself? Like, okay is good, but it's not great. Okay is not, you know what I mean? Like, you can do better than okay. So it's the same thing with these bars, like these businesses. Yeah, they may be doing okay, or maybe they're spiraling out of control and they're falling apart. But even if they're, like, not doing the worst, you can always do great. Great is always there. You just gotta get it, So, I like that he likes to bring out that next level. So, great show. And, okay, so I gotta bring this up now because we have been like cutting it up in pieces the last couple of weeks or last couple of nights. But we just want to talk about one of our favorite movies, Mrs. Doubtfire, that we've been enjoying. Oh my gosh. Watching that movie again and again and again and again, and then just watching it again the other day, you really like start to see how much of a genius Robin Williams was.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible movie. We're not going to tell you all about it. I mean, because I think everyone here has seen it, but
you had to have.
Had to have. Sometime, at some point in your life, you have to have seen it. It's just an incredible movie, and honestly, I just really, what I did want to talk about with Mrs. Doubtfire is, it's incredible the lengths people will go, for what you really love. And in this case, it was Robin Williams' kids. Just an amazing story, really. And just what a trip how it turns out. But then funny at the same time. I mean, just what an incredible feat this guy overcame in this movie. And it's really cool to think, like, oh my gosh, like, sadly, how it turned out, where, he didn't get full custody and everything. I wanted to go into that. They kind of leave it up at the end of, like, I guess you get to choose what happens next, or, like, what you may think happens. Everyone's seen the movie. Everyone knows. But what do you think, like, personally? What do you think happens after the camera shut off and this was a real life situation?
Well, obviously, Robin Williams and Sally Fields.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm forgetting the character's name.
I know,
You would think I
right?
would remember because I've seen it forever, but or lots of times. But I don't think it's really open to interpretation. I mean, she said that she took at the end of the movie. She said that she took care of the whole like custody agreement stuff with the courts already, because that's what one of the kids asked. What about the court and everything? She said I took care of it. So I'm assuming she dropped whatever she has to drop with the whole custody thing. So I mean, I think after that he ends up having a job. So I think on his spare time he takes care. So she goes to work during the day, and then I think in the afternoons, like after they're done with school and everything, he just picks them up, and yeah, that's it. I mean, it's really not open to interpretation, because I mean you basically get it. They go their separate ways. They deal with their kids however they want to deal with, and that's it. I mean, it's not like they're going to get back together or anything like that.
Maybe.
No.
Okay. Think about this. Apparently, Sally Field was, like, never happier in her entire life when Mrs. Doubtfire was around. That same person that made things so good, dinner being made on time, the kids doing their homework, everything she really, I mean, it's kind of weird to say it like this, but everything she really wanted in a husband, she, like, got in Mrs. Doubtfire. Interestingly enough, that was actually her husband the entire time. Realistically, this fool, all right, coming on in, trying to, of course, I mean, don't get me wrong, I hate to say, I mean, this is kind of messed up. He really isn't a bad character, the dude, the stew guy, but if you really think about it, I don't know. Like, she was with Robin Williams for a long time, apparently, in this movie. Like, was it, like 14 years or whatever?
Something like that.
And all she really wanted was him to, like, be...
Well, no, I mean, she said that she was happy in the beginning.
Exactly.
Because obviously if she wasn't, then she wouldn't have gotten married.
Exactly.
At least I'm assuming.
So if you think about it, I don't know. How would you feel? The same exact person that made you so miserable that, like, I guess, like, she said she has been happy for a long time and all these things. And then out of nowhere, she talks about, like, and at the end, it's funny how they refer to her as a real person. And then she, like, cuts it out. Like, she gets out of the fantasy land. She tells everybody, like, the kids are like, I miss her this, I miss her cooking, I miss whatever. And then Sally Fields is like, I miss her too. But we gotta stop saying that. She's not a real person. Never. Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire is a real person. That's Robin Williams just doing the right things, if you really think about it, in another form. So if you really think about it, I don't know. There may be, like, I'm just saying, open to interpretation, moment down the road where she realizes, like, this other dude is just, I don't know, he's rich and he's got this and this and that, but is there really something there? This other guy I've been with for 14 years, and all I ever wanted him was to shape up. And he actually made me happier than I've ever been, ever, during this entire time. Maybe we could give it a shot.
Because even at that one scene where she goes to his job after recording himself as Mrs. Doubtfire, they started bickering right there. And then they're like, okay, like she said, no, okay, like, we can't do this. We got to stop doing this. Basically, she's saying, sorry, excuse me, that they just need to come to some kind of agreement when it comes to their children. And that's why she said, you can be in their lives, but like she was basically saying, like, but you and I cannot be together in a way. It's just you can see the kids now as often as you want because they obviously need you. They need their father in their lives.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just missing it, but I don't know. It just seems to me
Because
like
the relationship with the other guy is irrelevant. It has to do between Sally Fields and Robin Williams and the kids.
yeah, but still, I mean, once again,
He was just a placeholder in the movie in a way.
yeah, but I mean, once again, how? I mean, yeah, I get it. I don't know. Maybe there would be a change of heart. I don't know, but I guess I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, maybe not. I don't know, but once again, that lady in the movie apparently has never had happiness like that ever until Mrs. Doubtfire was around. I'm just saying, if she would have gotten the same exact thing out of Robin Williams before any of that craziness would have ever happened, there's a big chance that, I mean, look at the very beginning of the movie, where he was like, let's take a vacation. And then she was like, yeah, but then we come back and all the problems are waiting for us right here. Realistically, the problem, thanks, Sanford. Thanks for tuning in, Taryn. Take care, brother. Have a great rest of your day at work, man. So, in the chat room, of course. But, I don't know. I'm just saying. She said all of our problems would be waiting for us when we come back. Well, what if there were no problems? Because realistically, it's, I mean, maybe, and I don't know, maybe on the other end too, Robin Williams is like, maybe not either. Because if you think about it, he was always talking about, oh, your job, like how he told her. Like, she seemed to put work first and everything before her own family. Maybe Robin Williams now, doing great things, making good money, doing this whole bit of Mrs. Doubtfire, and her, I mean, look how she even said in the movie.
I think too, though, because Robin Williams being Mrs. Doubtfire, she was more serious, though. She even said, when they were sitting down for tea, she was explaining like how the reason why she became unhappy is because Robin Williams was never serious. Like, he could be, but was never serious enough, I guess. He would always think that everything was just fun and games. And I think that's why a lot. Like, he was childish in a way. And I think him playing Mrs. Doubtfire helped him mature in a different aspect.
So it fixed him.
I wouldn't say fully fixed him. I mean, he's still himself.
So do you think he could still carry on the traits of Mrs. Doubtfire and be a little more serious and stern or whatever she really wanted him to be, and still be able to be his goofy, playful self? I mean,
I guess in a way, but I don't know.
He did it once, and he did it. He was acting.
Yeah, but he only did that just so that he could be close to his kids, not necessarily to his wife.
No, very true.
Or ex-wife at that time.
Very true, and it's true. But once again, I'm just saying.
I think we're taking this to a whole different level, but
it's a great discussion, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, it is.
Think about it. I'm just saying, that's like psychology. I mean, think about it. You know, like, it's just, I don't know. Once again, somebody can change. This is really cool to see that, you know, there was a lot of change there. Who knows? You know, who knows whatever happened in that story afterwards. But I feel like, I don't know, like, you could really think, like, yeah, okay, maybe that was it. But then again,
I think that was it. They just go their separate ways, and their kids are just their main important thing, and they're doing whatever it takes to be there for their kids and love and support them. That's it.
And there you have it. So, we watched another movie a couple nights ago. And kind of funny, I was watching it a little bit just because, I don't know, I think Adam Sandler movies are pretty dang funny. And it's really funny because a couple of weeks ago, I started watching this thing a couple weeks ago, and it's the Sean Payton story. It's a movie called Home Team. And it's the story of course, everybody knows the Sean Payton thing, the whole Bounty Gate deal that went on after the Saints Super Bowl, but a season or two afterwards, he got suspended, and all of that like everything fell apart. Well, it's the story of Sean Payton, how he got suspended from the NFL that year, how he goes back to like basically be closer to his son. Interestingly enough, his son is playing football, and it's just funny because number one thing, oh my gosh, like it's just funny because they turned something that was pretty serious into like a pretty funny yet still serious movie. And Kevin James, like they couldn't have picked a better person than Kevin, because Kevin James is that guy. Kevin James can play a funny yet serious role.
Mm-hmm.
He just has that about him, and I love that because it's freaking hilarious. Like, it was great. But the entire plot is Sean Payton, of course, Kevin James, goes back. His wife is now, with somebody else, and Rob Schneider played that role really well, being the other guy. That was freaking hilarious. But it's just, he actually does fix things with his son. His son couldn't stand him at first, and he became a coach in the team. His son hated that, but he actually helped that team go to a championship. And from what I understand, this is actually based on a true story, and it did happen. And in that year, Sean Payton, he goes back to the NFL the very next year, but he goes back with a relationship with his son fixed. Nothing with his ex-wife was fixed. She moved on, he moved on, things were cool. Things were good or whatever. But at the end of the day, he packs things up with his son, and hopefully it stayed that way afterwards. But I just thought it was a really funny movie because I started watching it because I just get enticed by anything football. So I saw it on, of course.
I think everybody knows that already.
Right, so true. But it's just really funny because, oh my gosh, it's just it was funny. It was really funny. We go and we see. I click on Netflix and I see it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I started watching it by myself a little bit, and then I wanted to one day, like, I got to almost the end of it. I was like, no, I want to watch it. So she gets home from work one day, and I throw it on, and she's not even too interested in it, and then she starts, like, watching it, and it's actually kind of funny, because, like, it's a funny story, but at the same exact time, you can see the sincerity of it, because Sean Payton, like, it really did happen. He packs things up with his son, and he got to coach his team, and pretty cool. An NFL coach helps like a Pop Warner team go to a championship and beat their rivals and everything, their cross-town rivals and everything. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool, and I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, at the end of the day, that was pretty much it. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you watch it. It's an acquired taste, I guess. It's funny, but it's football. But I don't know. I thought it was a pretty funny movie. But anyway, what were your thoughts on that movie?
I liked it too, and like you said, it is funny, and it's cute, and yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Adam Sandler movie without him in it, so that was kind of interesting and different. But he had his two people that he makes movies with is Rob Schneider and Kevin James, so, right? Is that his name? Yeah. Kevin James. So, it was pretty cool, and actually having a movie that's not, it's actually clean, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it was very
usually, Adam Sandler's movies tend to be a little, not like bad, but, just a little adult humor, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
In there. But, yeah, actually, this movie was clean and really good. I liked it as well.
I'm glad you did. It was funny. Like I said, I definitely recommend it. I thought it was great. Time to give it a grade, though, babe. Remember we used to grade our movies. We would watch sports movies. I gotta say, just because of, it was a Netflix movie, this was never on the big screen or anything like that. I gotta say, just because of the story itself, I liked it a lot. I don't know if Slow's grade is gonna be as high. It seemed like a maybe like a lower budget in a sense movie. I don't know, but I really liked it. I would say not like an A+, but just a solid A, because the story was good. It was a true story of Sean Payton. This really did happen. And once again, he went back to the NFL, and now I don't know where he's not coaching the Saints. I forgot where he went, or if he actually retired in the last year or so. Sorry, I've been out of the loop wedding stuff. But overall, it was just a really good movie, and I definitely enjoyed the fact that the moral of it all is a man gets caught up with his work. Him and his wife don't work out for their own reasons or whatever. The kid is 12 years old. sucks because they kind of get, they get torn apart about this. But during a time where bad things happen and he gets suspended from the NFL for 1 year and everything, what an amazing feat for him to be like, you know what, I lost that part of my life for right now, but you know what, I'm going to go do the right thing and make things right with my son now that I actually have the time to do it. And you know what, that just speaks volumes about Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. Maybe he screwed up in the beginning, but he's here now. And you know what, it was just a great, so all of it together, I mean, the quirky little humor, it was funny. I don't know if quirky is the right word, but I don't know. I just thought it was just funny. The comedy was funny in there, but overall, just the story itself, I thought was very cool. So yeah, I wouldn't say A+, but I would definitely say an A. So what do you think?
I would give it the same.
Yay! Yeah, it was a good movie, guys. So make sure you guys check it out on Netflix. Great stuff. We're gonna take ourselves one more break. When we get back, we are gonna go ahead and jump on into a couple different sports. Baseball's here. Mm-hmm. And so Cecilia and I are going to talk a little bit about that. Thankfully, it's back and we're good. We will talk a little bit about our NASCAR adventure because, that was like 2 months ago. But just saying, we didn't get a chance to talk about that on the show. And then, of course, European soccer and Formula One. Something I told Cecilia about last week where she was like, yeah, I wouldn't really ever be a fan of those sports for particular reasons. Nothing bad, but just competition. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' to NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal Sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal Sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom revved harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
One of the many great shows here on IE Sports Radio, we certainly think was Gina G for all she does. This has been a great episode. We got about 10 minutes left here in the show and so much to cover within these 10 minutes. So, with that said, we have a little bit of news around sports. Not news, but just, we're happy that baseball is back. Trust me, we were very upset that the stupid owners, sorry, but, they couldn't make a freaking agreement, and, whatever. But whatever, we got baseball, so I'm going to stop complaining about it. But baseball is back, and we're glad that it's here. Cheering on our SoCal teams and certainly excited for baseball coming back. We're going to be at the Storm games very soon. The Storm just started this past week at home. They started last week on the road. This week, of course, they're doing their thing. They blew out the Rawhide last night 15-4, so we're really excited for that. And we got plenty of awesome sports and lots of great things to get into. But kind of funny, a couple of days ago, I was really happy to now own the Formula One 2001 game, and it was freaking awesome. It was absolutely awesome. $14 on the PSN network, and I was happy to finally get it. But with that said, um, when I was playing it, Cecilia is pretty darn funny. We were talking about it, and I was explaining to her, like, okay, so this is Formula One, this is different than NASCAR, and blah, blah, blah. And we started getting into it, and then I started telling her, like, it just sucks, like, because I just wish that the actual sport itself was, like, super competitive. And I started going into telling her, like, the teams, the race teams, how certain teams have tons of money. It's like, same thing, like with the MLB and the Yankees, sorry. I mean, I get the Dodgers do it too, but tons of money, and, well, you could buy the best players, there's no salary cap. I don't really think there's anything like that with football, but I'm sorry, with Formula One, there's definitely a salary cap in football. And then I started going into it and telling her that, like, there's no playoff system or anything. Like, it's just whoever wins, like, the winner can be, out of 22 races, the champion could be crowned in, like, race 17 or 18. So the rest of the races are kind of pointless, I guess. I mean, the Constructor Championship is still going on. But it's really only ever between Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. That's it, all the other teams. If you're a fan of any of the other teams, just be happy with, like, a 5th place if you can get that. You know what I mean? Or it's kind of sad, but kind of sad. I don't know. I went into it and told her all those things, and then I said it's kind of like European soccer. Of course, us as Americans, we love our playoffs. Europeans aren't really too fond of playoffs. I told her about soccer leagues around the world, kind of like Ligue 1, where like PSG just wins the dang freaking championship by like April, even though the season's over in May, or even before that. And I don't know, sometimes it is competitive in the leagues around the world, but at the end of the day, it's just, you get 1 or 2 teams at the top of the table, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and then that's it. You only get the 35, 36, 37, 38 weeks or games or whatever per season, and then that's it. It's pretty much over, no playoffs. And as I told Cecilia all that, she was like, yeah, I wouldn't be a fan of those sports. So anyway, babe, now that I just brought all that back up again and everything, what do you think personally? Well, of course, tell the listeners, what are your thoughts on Formula One and how only a few teams are only ever in the hunt? You get 2 drivers. You get an A driver and a B driver. The B driver sometimes gets told to pull over and let the A driver pass them to win it, which is really despicable. Because you have your number 1 driver and number 2 driver for the same exact team and all that crap, and the non-competitiveness, the non-playoffs, because all of that, even going into soccer where teams win it way earlier. I don't know. What do you think about all that?
I think it's crazy how they work that way. I don't know why they would always want their A driver to always win, because in my opinion, that would just get boring to me. I wouldn't even want to watch it. I'd be like, yeah, I already know who's going to win, so it's no big deal. But, yeah, I mean, if it were me and I was the B car, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, fire me, I don't care, someone else will hire me or whatever, because obviously I have the better skills,
Yes.
apparently, than
Yes.
your A driver, at least on this race. So why should I hold myself back and not win when I could win? And, at least you're still making a name for the company or for the league. Do they call them leagues? I don't know if they call them leagues, but
Yeah.
for, that company
The
and
series,
whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah, the series. And yeah, I don't know. It's just weird how all that works. And I think I find that also interesting, different, at least, on how they don't have a last competition, I guess you would say. Or what do you call it?
Playoffs.
Playoffs, there you go. A playoff. Because I guess it's just us out here, how we like the competition and just to truly show who can be better than the other person. So yeah, that is it sounds weird, but obviously if we were raised out there, we would obviously think that us out here is different and weird because of that. But yeah, it just seems like that's not interesting. Not that it's not interesting. It's just, I don't know. It's just different, I guess you would say. You're not used to, or at least I'm not, because I'm not a big sports person. But yeah, it's just interesting how they don't have a big playoff to end the series of race car.
Yeah, and I like NASCAR, how they made the play. I don't know, we're just playoff people. Like, that's all there is to it. We like the regular season, and then we like a second season to go along with it, the playoffs. Because, that's what I love about it. You can dominate all season long, but in the playoffs, you can get thrown out in the first round. Europeans are like, no, if you dominate the whole season, then you're the true winner. You know what I mean? So I totally get that, but I don't know. I guess Formula One, don't get me wrong, I love it, but it just sucks to know that there's only like 6 cars that are actually competitive, and the others just aren't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
What's the point of having the rest of them on there, on the road or on the track? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, it sucks. So, anyway, well, that was just a little bit of a tidbit of information there we wanted to throw. But really quick, we wanted to play a little bit of a game here, have some fun at the end. Go ahead and whip out those questions, baby. Next week we're gonna actually play this game, play it. So our audience out there, play along. You'll win a IE Sports Radio hat. But Cecilia and I are going to go ahead and ask us a couple of questions, get you guys warmed up for next week when we actually do our competition. We're going to compete against each other, see if we can stump one another, going with our own fields. But this game is, of course, called The Test of Both Worlds. Okay, fine. Cricket. Okay. Sorry. But Cecilia's going to ask me 3 questions. I'm going to ask her 3 questions. And we're going to see if we can stump each other with questions about, we're going to ask each other questions about what we know most, of course, Cecilia, pop culture, and me, sports. So, next week, you can play along. We'll go a couple of rounds, and if you can get the answer quick in the chat room, quickest answers win. We'll tally up the scores, and you can win a free IE Sports Radio hat. So, with that said, babe, you have the honors. Go first. What you got? What's your first question for me?
how many NBA championships did Michael Jordan win with the Chicago Bulls?
6.
Oh, gosh,
91, 92, 93, 91 was over.
It doesn't say the years.
And then he left for a year to play baseball.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Chicago White Sox. That didn't pan out. He came back, and he won in 95, 96, and 97. Or no, 96, 97, 98. Yeah, 6 months.
All right, Mr. Sherlock.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. I want to ask. I don't even know. Okay, here we go. Here's a movie that I think my lovely soon-to-be wife is into. What? I don't even know any of this. I guess know the name of the movie. But what everyday item did Rami and Michelle claim to have invented in Rami and Michelle's high school reunion?
Wait, repeat.
Do you know what that movie is?
I think I've seen bits and pieces when I was younger, but not the whole
Okay,
movie.
well then no.
No, you already asked it, so ask it again.
It says here, what everyday item did Rami and Michelle claim to have invented in Rami and Michelle's high school reunion?
Yeah, I definitely don't know
See?
that one.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care. I don't know. Is it food?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. What is it?
Post-it notes.
Oh.
Sorry. So see, I'm trying to. As I'm saying, ask me whatever. So okay. Okay. Next
We're
question.
not really playing for real this time. I mean, we are, but next week. Game on.
Game on. Okay, go ahead. Stump me, babe. Round 2.
I highly doubt it. I'll ever stump you. Who has won more tennis Grand Slam titles, Venus Williams or Serena Williams?
Serena Williams. She has 24.
I knew it.
She'll have 25.
I shouldn't even be asking you sports questions. You know all the answers.
Well, we see you trying to find a good one.
No. Go on.
Sorry. Okay.
You just have a photographic memory.
What is the name of the family dog of Full House?
I've asked you this one before, I think. I don't know.
It's like a hint.
Shadow?
I mean, it's common like Shadow, I think.
I know. I don't know. I feel like it starts with a G. No? No? Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know. What is it?
Comet.
Comet, that's right.
Sorry. Okay, go. Round 3 and final round.
I'd be surprised if we got this one. Because we don't really talk about this too often or even at all. In horse racing, the Triple Crown is awarded to a horse which wins which 3 races?
Oh, that's a good one. We have the Kentucky Derby. Oh, snacks. Belmont. Time limit. I'm gonna go Kentucky Derby, the Belmont something. My bad. And there's another one. This is wrong, but Santa Anita.
You got 2 right. You got the Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes.
Stakes. There's another one.
It's Preakness Stakes? Or I think I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, wow. But I didn't even know that. I didn't even know the third one.
Well, now you know.
I know. Thank you for that one, man. Good one. Good question. Good one. Okay. Okay. In The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, who said, "I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all ages of this world alone"?
I'm forgetting the names. That has to be, I think, Legolas or I'm forgetting the characters' names. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Has to be the dwarf. I think it was the dwarf, and I'm forgetting his name.
Does the dwarf have a name?
Yes, but I'm forgetting it.
That's cold. I would rather share one lifetime with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was like a diss. I read it wrong. I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone.
Okay, what was it? Who was it?
Arwen, I believe.
Arwen.
Arwen.
That's right. It was the elf. I think that's what she is. Elf. I forget.
It's a girl?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No. I mean, she is, yeah. I'm forgetting all the characters' names. It's been so long since I've seen those movies.
There's Lord of the Rings lady over here.
I know. That was a good one, though.
Oh, yeah. Now you know.
Yeah, but I totally lost. Oh, well.
Want a
I
bonus?
tend to lose anyway.
Want a bonus question?
No.
Bonus question!
No.
Come on. What happened to Lobelia Sackville Baggins after the War of the Rings?
You see the name? I don't know.
She died and donated her money to help the hobbits affected by Lotho, her son.
That isn't okay.
Okay, well, there it is. Well, with that said, that was a fun one. So next week, we're going to be doing that for real. And it's going to be good. And yeah, we're really, really, really excited. So yeah, she said bring it next week. So I'm going to try to. Trust me. This girl knows her stuff. Today I just kind of caught her off guard.
Yes.
Sorry. But with that said, y'all, you know what time it is. Cue the music. Because we're out of here for today. Man, that was a fun one. And certainly excited for all of these awesome, awesome shows we got coming, man. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, there would be no us, of course, without our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. And of course, all of our listeners out there who make IE Sports Radio happen, we thank you all so very much. With that said, that was a fun one. First time in 2.5 months. Yes, we'll try to be more regular. No promises or anything though until like after the wedding, but we're going to try to be on the next couple of weeks. Certainly the big one on May 14th. May 15th is, of course, our wedding day. And it is, of course, the IE Sports Radio 8-year anniversary. This year, since Cecilia and I will be taking off to our hotel in San Diego where we're getting married, we have a whole bunch of things to tend to. But that day, we'll be doing, of course, we'll have our wedding, so we will not be on air on the 15th. However, we will treat the 14th as our anniversary date this year for the 8-year anniversary show, and it's going to be a huge 3-hour blowout, so be ready for that show. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really excited for that. So, with that said, that is going to do it. Babe, any last closing statements for today's show?
Thank you for listening. Take care. Be safe and stay healthy, and have a good Easter day tomorrow.
That's right. Everyone, please enjoy your Easter out there. Be safe.
Yes, please.
Please be safe. and nothing is worth it. If you're tipping, don't be cruising. Alright? That's all there is to it. Enjoy yourselves, and just have a wonderful Easter. Okay, don't forget the reason for the season, of course. And please, drive responsibly, or drink responsibly if you are going to drink, and enjoy the day, alright? Enjoy family and friends. Enjoy some great sports. USFL coming up today. We got some games tomorrow. Plenty of great things. And of course, IE Sports Radio. So many great things coming our way here. We've got new hosts coming in, new shows, new social media accounts, just covering all the major regions, sports regions, that is, around the country, and lots more things. You can support us at iSportsRadio.com. Go ahead and head over to our Patreon. We appreciate you for helping support us. And we also thank you so very much for everything. Thank you to our sponsors, the Southern California Warriors. And of course, we want to say thank you to everybody out there who tuned in today. Adam Karnick, Mike Pat, Kel Henderson, Terrell Rodriguez. We appreciate you all so very much for being a part of us and for showing us love each and every week. Now, of course, showing us love. We will stay on it more consistently. But that is it, you guys, for my beautiful fiance Cecilia, and for me, your boy Larry B. We are signing off, and we will see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.